Hi, everybody. Beautiful day, month of ER. Please, God, so much healing for everyone. Happy to be here together again with Auntie Mimi, a special brain training class for our children, but everyone is welcome to join. So today we are going to continue where we left off yesterday with this feeling of against all odds. It seems like why did Hashem make each individual so unique, so special in their own way, so different than no other, that a person can feel alone? And as Rabbi Roll, who's a counselor, and he writes in his books again, Alone Against the World, that if you look at the history of many great heroes, many great righteous holy ones were alone against the world. And I'm going to read in the back of his book. It's so beautifully written. All of the avot, all of our imahot, our foremothers and our forefathers, were alone. From Abraham standing alone against a world of idol worship, to King David, who was alone in his rejection by his family. Sarah was alone in her tent, and Esther was alone in the palace of Achashverosh. You see, even the greatest of greats felt alone and were alone in their journeys, trying to really influence the whole world in a way that their soul knew best, in a way that their soul was commissioned, was given that particularly unique neshama to do what they needed to do to influence the world. So it could happen many times in the family dynamics. Imagine, David HaMelech was like treated as if he was not part of the family. In fact, when the Navi came, when the prophet came to say, I'm here to anoint the king, and they showed all the children, and the Navi said, no, it's from this family, but he's not here. Isn't there another person in your family? Oh, him? Kind of like, well, him? Like him to be a king? No way. They were thinking, he shouldn't be part of this meeting. And then they found out that it was he, the humble one, the rejected one, the small one, the odd one, the one that they all maybe scapegoated, not treating with due respect. He was chosen to be the king. If you look at Yosef HaTzadik and all that they did in their jealousy, all that his brothers did because they were so jealous. Yeah, we are taught that he was very handsome. Yes, he had a way with his words. And yes, he had a charisma and a leadership power that was being squashed. And even they took measures to get rid of him and sold him as a slave. But Hashem knew, this is a unique neshama. This is a man of the world. This is a leader that's going to change the world forever. And that's what Yosef did. I even read the Breslov Rebbe's diary, and where he said he was alone against the world. Look how giant Breslov Hasidus has become because of his strong convictions, of not letting all the people that were ridiculing him, taunting him, banishing him. Ugh, the list goes on if you read his memoirs, how he was not treated nicely. And we all know great leaders, even of this generation, that had a very rough beginning until they got to that place of strength that has helped the world. Sometimes those experiences of being rejected is really our protection. So like sometimes a person feels like, ugh, I'm so rejected. I feel so alone. But then in that experience of being in this not easy situation, it helps you grow in your compassion. It helps you develop qualities about yourself so that you can be a better leader, that you can be a better influencer. In one of my books, in the Carrying a Tune in Sfas, where the children are so distraught because their mother's in the hospital, and the father gives an example of a seed that is put into the ground and it's like buried. It seems like it's gone. And the father explains that just like the water that comes and beats on that buried seed, but the water is causing the seed's outer crust, the outer shell, to like melt away so that the blossom can finally take place. So sometimes the hard experiences that we're going through with our friends, with our sister, brother, or even sometimes being under a parent, and we're not yet the parent, can really shape and mold us into the best person that we are meant to be. So imagine Queen Esther having to be forced to be in the situation of being in the palace of King Achashverosh. And boy, did she have some self-sacrifice, because even after the wars were won, and even after there was no threat of the evil Haman, she still stayed. Because she knew that Achashverosh, and he could end up changing his mind, and his fickle nature could change into the wicked Achashverosh that he was willing to kill the Jews before, right? So she knew, even though it was so hard for her, even though she felt so alone, even though all the people around her were, not all, but many were judging Achashverosh and Esther for staying in the palace. They said, oh, you like the power, you like the royalty, you like the prestige, and they judged her unfavorably, and Mordechai. This is a teaching from the Rebbe. But the Rebbe was pointing out, no, they stayed because they wanted to protect the Jewish people. So sometimes you will even do an action alone against the world, and you know it's from your heart to Hashem's heart that you're doing it for a good reason, but everyone might judge you. I remember an experience, and it really taught me a lesson, to be careful not to judge, even as something's appearing so like clearly as if what I'm thinking is what is happening. And it's hard for me to explain this, and it's hard to me to share it, but I think I always feel impelled to do this because it's such a strong lesson in life, and it happened to me. So it's like I had one of these not so good days, frustrated, in the beginning years of my life in Israel, about 28 years ago. Can you imagine? It's like still, like, the vision is still in my mind. And what happened was, it was the hardest of days. And in Male Adumim, I would go swimming. they had after school hours for women to swim. And I ended up going to this pool, kind of just wanting to get rid of that stressful day. A lot of things didn't go my way. And I even like noticed some situation on my way walking that like this child that was Down syndrome was being picked on, and I kind of got involved, and then they were like to try to like stop from the situation increasing, and then they were like making fun of me, and they were like not so respectful, and it was just a situation, and I was like feeling. And so here I am in the pool, and I noticed like there's this boy in the pool. Like I know there's certain age groups when we have separate swimming that after that age you can't allow that age to enter the pool. So at first I was like bothered. What is this boy doing here? I mean, okay, so then I was thinking he might be look older than he is, but he was really acting wild, and he was also now like kind of making all these like weird like noises and being just kind of like in my face, like not letting me swim. And then he took my like the kick bot, and he wanted to use it, and he grabbed it from me and laughing like it. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I was just feeling rudeness like the whole day. And then now this, and I just felt like, like there was like thoughts in my mind about like what is this? How can this generation be? And I kept like judging, and not, that was a real old me. And all of a sudden this mother notices that he's like still pulling at my buoy, or whatever you call it, the kickboard, and she's so sorry. She comes and she says, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, you have to understand, my child is autistic. And I was like, I think that was the first time I was with someone autistic, actually. And I knew the word autistic. I heard about it. I studied about it. But it was like my first experience. And I remember like oh my gosh, the feeling I had when I was like so kind of harsh energy, judging energy, not my like happy-go-lucky. And I remember like feeling like so down on myself. Like, you want to be a child counselor and a family counselor, and you want to do children's program, and you can't even deal with one situation, someone taking your buoy or kickboard. And I just like, it kept like eating at me. Back then, I didn't have the brain tools of how to realize that's the Yetzer Hara. All because you had an interesting day and you didn't handle it the best you could doesn't mean your unique godly soul shouldn't be out there doing your mission. So I'm saying hi to everyone. Yes, hi everyone. Welcome. So I was like down and out, and the Yetzer Hara kept squashing my neshama, like trying to squash my neshama of wanting to shine its light, wanting to do something to help people. But eventually what I did was I said, that's it. I called up the lady, and I found out her number by the end of that session in the pool. And I said, I really want to apologize. And she didn't really know, what did I have to apologize? She didn't know what was in my head at the time before she came to the scene. She didn't know my frustrated look that I gave her autistic son. And so I said, I have this children's program, and I'd like to invite him to come to my museum. And it ended up like really a stepping board. It really ended up helping me, get to that new level of like, I got to work on myself if I'm working with children. And it inspired me. So it was like an experience. It felt like, rain is like, gonna, squash me. Like, if you put a tissue and the rain goes on and there it goes, it disintegrates. And it might be a beautiful artwork with tissue papers. They have those tissue paper artworks. And it seems like that's what it's doing to you. But it actually made me realize and helped me get to the next growth in my being able to be a better, compassionate person. So sometimes when you yourself also experience something in that way, it could help you. And you have to fight hard. You have to train your brain not to let it, dampen your belief in yourself. Because even when you are feeling alone, it's not necessarily like the truth. In one sense, it is the truth because we're taught Hashem is one. There's only one God, and He's alone. There's no one like Him. And God gave each and every one of us a unique soul that no one else has. So that's why we can tend to feel alone, because we can tend to feel they're not getting us. No matter how I try to explain, no matter how I try to connect with them on their level, it just feels like sometimes very hard. And that could be the truth. But it doesn't mean you're alone. Meaning that aloneness of your uniqueness is what's going to be uniquely given as a gift to the world, because God needs you and your uniqueness to do your certain mission with that certain unique part of you. So that instead of causing this uniqueness to make us feel alone, that we should understand the uniqueness for its worth. We should embrace the uniqueness as the good that it really is, and then fight that inner avenger, that inner Yetzer Hara, that inner voice in us that then takes our uniqueness and makes us feel alone. Thank you, everyone. This hopefully will help you now more than ever, because of this very unique experience we're all going through being in this pandemic. And for some of us children who have many dynamics, of interacting more and more with our loved ones. Or some are really alone because they don't have a brother or sister. And so it could be even that more challenging because, in school you had your friends, but now you might be a single child and it's just very difficult because you have no interaction like other families do. And so you can feel even more alone. So in whatever predicament that you are in, you have to know, as the Baal Shem Tov says, whatever our predicament is, it's the way it was meant to be, because that predicament is going to be a springboard and a stepping stone. And everything your seed of your soul needs to blossom. And you have to take two hands and push away any other negative thoughts that can lead you to sadness or being, feeling that life is unfair and life is unjust, God forbid. The situation is that way. That means your soul needs exactly whatever it is in this situation that's going to make you the true and better you. So, are you ready to face your aloneness in a unique and gifted way? Are you ready to face that even your whole family may not understand you the way you would love, but that's okay? Because we aren't meant to fully understand one another because we're so uniquely different. And it's God's design. Are you okay and ready to then say, I could still be a lamplighter in my own special way? And not let all the things around you make you feel inferior because of your uniqueness, because of your specialness. We have to realize all our tzaddikim were alone against the world. All of our heroes, all of the righteous, all of us included. How much more so when we see their journeys? Can you imagine Avraham and his father Terach? It's beyond understanding how that story unfolded as Avraham, our first forefather. That just gives all of us the strength. That just gives all of us hope. That just gives all of us an understanding. I mean, he didn't deserve it. Did he? No. Oh my gosh, he was so holy. He did not deserve all that happened. It's not a matter of deserve. Hashem knew those experiences was going to cultivate the Avraham that was needed to change the world for the better and start the whole Jewish nation. Because so many times people feel like, I'm being punished, or God doesn't love me, and it's farthest from the truth. We always say in these brain training classes, Hashem is lovesick over you. Lovesick, not just he loves you. Crazy about you. And everything that happens is for the good and for that soul to blossom. I can testify, oh my gosh, the challenges I had, it made me the person I am. And boy, did I have a lot of challenges. So, ready to now take those moments in time where you feel alone and see it as a gift. See it as what it's worth. See it as something of value, and not let the people around you take away your unique, amazing person that you are. And yes, children, you're in the making. And yes, adults too are in the making. But now you can understand why people may not be getting you like you want. Now you can understand why they may have a hard time understanding you for the unique person you are. And it's okay. It really is okay. So, we're going to get our new understandings about the feelings that when we have, especially those feelings of feeling alone. So, are you ready? Let's take our pens and our markers and our part 2 art brain training here. And you can make a picture of yourself alone. But you're not sad in this picture. You're okay that you are unique. You are okay that you are alone right now. It's hard. It's not easy. But in this picture, the truth is like so blatantly clear. It's so clear to you. And it's an amazing time to develop so many good qualities about yourself. It's a quiet time to recalibrate or to reconsider some of the things you want to accomplish, some of the goals you have, some of the dreams of being like Abraham. and the leader that you want to be in your own unique way. Another picture you could do is the seed in the ground. And you could see raindrops. The seed is buried, but the raindrops seem harsh. But now each raindrop is glistening with the message. I'm here to help you grow. I'm here to help you. And the raindrops, remember, representing life events. People may be not accepting you. People may be rejecting you. People treating you not nicely. Whatever it is. And maybe in each bubble of a raindrop you can write, rejection is God's protection. And another raindrop you can write, this too is for the best. This is going to help me grow. This is going to help me be more compassionate. Because I'm going through this bitter experience, I'm going to know what it feels like. And I'm not going to return the energy elsewhere. It's going to be helping me be more proactive to be not like them. And to remember yesterday we said celebrate ourselves, because at least in that way we're not like them. But see the raindrops maybe in this picture with each bubble, and see the, maybe make a like a little mound of earth, and then see the seed beginning to blossom, like because the rain is helping it grow. Or see a picture of Queen Esther standing strong against the world. Even maybe her own people were judging her, but she knew better to be made fun of, but do the right thing. Let them think what they want to think, that she wanted riches and royalty and whatever. But she stayed in the palace. Or if you're a Mordechai, see Mordechai in the palace. It says, mamish in the Megillah, not everybody was, it said that most of the people were happy with Mordechai. It was like, it's clear if you see in the Megillah. And the Rebbe of Lubavitch explained, because some of the people were not happy with him that he stayed at the palace and judged him unfavorably, that as if he was neglecting Torah for royalty that he wanted. That wasn't the truth. But he stayed against all odds, against all of the, well, did you see what Mordechai is doing? All the schmutzy lashon hara against him that was even at the time of after the miracle. So see yourself standing strong, doing the right thing against the world, alone, in that way. Maybe like it happens in school, you see people being bullied, and you're really staying strong. And you're not going to be part of the bullying. In fact, you're going to be a leader and stop it in your own creative, unique way. Whatever it is that you need to work on or want to improve in being okay with being your unique soul. Have the time right now and create your masterpiece. So now we're going to go. You can just write some of those ideas down and you can finish the work later. And now we're going to go to the third segment of our gathering here, and that is our brain training through a mind movie. So if one of those ideas that you jotted down for the artwork suits you, in a later time, you can make a movie of it. So it's not just on paper, you're now creating new behavioral patterns by not only making an artwork about it, but now you're going to make a mind movie about it. So I'm going to choose one, but if you more liked the Mordechai one, or if you more like something different, I'm going to choose the seed today, because I think it's so beautiful. So let's begin. We're gonna, first of all, relax our body so that our mind can relax, so that our mind can be more susceptible or more ready or more able to program new ideas, new behaviors, new goals. Always starting with a deep, fresh breath. And with every breath you take, as you're closing your eyes, you just feel a wave of relaxation. And it's as if you see like a magic carpet coming your way and taking you to an incredible, most beautiful place that will help you become even more relaxed. And so every part of this journey, as you're getting closer and closer to this beautiful place, you take a deep breath and you feel the breeze just calming you, relaxing you. And then as you get closer to the place, you see a big sign. This is your place. Like your name is in bright, I'm like really bright light, like it's beaming. And your name in this big, bright way is just reminding you that you are a bright light. You are a unique neshama. No one like you in the world. And as you enter this place, you're enjoying the view, you're seeing the beauty of this place, almost as if you can smell everything around you. It's just so peaceful and so tranquil. And you see a hammock, and it's like a swing that is for your whole body. And you see it, and you begin to sit on it, and you're rocking back and forth. You have time to think about how beautiful, how special, how amazing you are. And as you're relaxing here and taking the time to reconnect to yourself, your true self, you notice it starts to drizzle. And you notice, thank God, all the trees and all the leaves around you are protecting you. But you notice there's a little farm at a distance. And you notice that the rain is falling on the crops. And you begin to see a vision. Wow, there are seeds under this ground. The seeds seem buried. They seem to be unnoticed. They seem to be not cared for. And when you see the drops, you think, yeah, the drop seems like they're beating on the seed. But it's not. It's actually going to help the seed grow. And so you begin to connect to the seed as the seed of your soul. And as each drop falls, you can underground see that it's helping the seed blossom. And you actually see it. You see life challenges, like the rain, helps you blossom. And you begin to connect to all your forefathers and their challenges and their journeys and their alone against the world. And you can better handle now and better cope with what's going on in your life. And all of a sudden, there's this incredible spurt of growth. The seeds blossom is starting to come out. and you have a big smile, and you feel at peace more than ever. And so anytime you see flowers, you see greenery, you see a blossom, you see it rain, it helps you remember, Mayim Rabim, the waters will not drown you. Life challenges will not crush you. It'll help lift you up. Just like the Noah's Ark Teva, all the water, the Teva, your words of prayer, your words of learning, your words of understanding God's creation called you will help you blossom, will help lift you up to a higher place of revealing the true you. I hope it does help you like it has helped me. My dear children, take these words to heart. And I'm going to leave you with one story, actually. And that's a story that was posted today. I did a Hayom Yom post. And it's a story that blew me away so many years ago when I read it. And every time I read it, every day, meaning, because every year we go through the whole book of Hayom Yom. So every day that year when we reread the same story, it re-encourages me, re-inspires me. And it was a story of the Rabbi. He was trying to convince someone to do something that needed to be done. And you can look at the post later in detail. But, and he kept trying to like influence this person, and the person was not budging. He was not listening. So the Rebbe then said, I have to ask for forgiveness. It is I that has to do tshuva. And then he kind of, I guess, sat back, and then he started thinking, and he started doing his own tshuva. And as he was doing the tshuva, all of a sudden, this person, that nothing the Rebbe said helped him budge and helped him change his mind. Nothing. And then the heart of this man melted, and he did tshuva because of the Rebbe's tshuva. So I was thinking, like, oh my gosh, sometimes we are this unique neshama, and we want to be of help to maybe our younger sister. She's doing something wrong, and you really care for her, that she will have more friends in school. Or sometimes, parents, they want to help you, and they're maybe, strongly trying to convince you, and it's hard for you to understand, and why, and this. So, like, when we're trying to influence other people, like, we have to realize sometimes we can fix our ways, and it's about us, because maybe we are too strong in trying to convince them, or maybe we have something in us that we need to like fix so that it'll help fix them. Amazing story. I invite you to read it. Amazing. I just want to give you a little taste of it, just because sometimes you have to realize that no matter how much you're trying to, let's say, be that light for somebody else, sometimes you have to do your own tshuva, and realize maybe you have to start fixing yourself first. Blessing everyone. Thank you so much for joining. And I'm really, really just hoping that always the words coming from my heart and enter yours. Bye-bye. A blessed day.